Hey everyone, this is Miko with the Permit Empire, and I wanted to jump in here and do a really quick live video. I hope you can hear me well because I'm not sure I don't have my microphone today, so I hope you can hear me well. But I wanted to jump in here and do a really quick live video, right? I wanted to discuss something as it pertains to registering your business with the local business department, as you can see by the title of this video. Now, the thing is, when you're registering your business, or the reason why you even want to register your business with the local building department is because you want to be able to submit online permits. Right? So that's the thing. In order to submit those online permits, in a lot of cases, you need to set up your online presence with that local building department. Now, a couple things about that, right? Couple things. Sure, in some cases, the building department will actually prefer for you to use your client's login information. They'll prefer for you to use the client's password, login, all that kind of stuff. Your client, who's usually a contractor or an investor of some sort, they will also have to have, in a lot of cases, their own sign in at the building department. They will have to register their business with the local building department so that they can submit permits, right? And what they can do is add you as one of their authorized agents or authorized users, or they can simply share their password and their login information with you so that you can access their online account so that you can submit permits. Right. And in a lot of cases, that is what happens. You're using your client's login, the contractor's login, the investor's login. You're using their information, or you are an authorized user, or they've allowed you to share that information, right? So that's in a lot of cases. But here is the case where I kind of prefer it this way, right? When you register your own account with your local building department, when you register to get your own access. When you register to get your own account, you have to sign up for this, right? You have to go ahead and put in all of your information, and they set you up an actual portal so that you can access and that you can see anytime that there's some action going on a permit that you have submitted, right? So you'll be able to see that. And I prefer that because in a lot of cases, you can have all of your clients' information in that one portal under your login. You can have all of those different permits. If you have a general contractor and he has permits, or you have an electrician and he has permits, you can access the permits that you submitted for them. You can access it under your account. So what you need to do, so that's why it's actually important to have your own account, because a lot of times you can put everything all in one place. So let's say for me, right, I'm in South Florida. That's my area. I'm in South Florida. So for me, one of our cities, one of the building departments is Fort Lauderdale, right? That's a large building department. A lot of the projects that I handle, a lot of the permits that I handle, they actually go to that building department. They're for that city. So the city of Fort Lauderdale, they allow me as the permit runner. They allow me as the permit runner to set up my own account. So I have access to my own portal, right? It's for me to see. Even though I'm not a contractor, I am simply just a permit runner. But my business is set up on as a permit runner, Southern Empire. That's actually I'm the Permit Empire, but I'm actually a DBA under the LLC Southern Empire, right? So that is the account that I have. My account is under Southern Empire. And what I do is, for all of my different clients, when I'm submitting online permits for them, what I do is I simply upload it to my account. I upload it through my account into the portal. And that way it goes direct. Any updates, I am the one who sees that. I'm the one who's able to attach any documents. If I need to attach additional documents, if I need to do any updates, I can do it. But with that being said, I have all my clients' information in there, all of their permits. And here's the thing, they don't see it unless I grant them access to see it. I have to actually grant them access. I can attach the contractor as a contact. I can attach the contractor as a contact, and then that way he can see the information solely for that one permit. Not for all of them, but for that permit. Hey, Robin, good to see you in here. How you doing? But yeah, so that way we can do that. So to set up your own account you should I advise you really to set up your account as your business, under your business name. You can set it up under your personal name. You can set up on your personal information. Usually they're asking you information such as your address, your business name, or your individual name, a phone number, an email. And I usually advise you to set it up under your business information, because if for some reason your contractor gets access to it, let's say you need to grant him access because he needs to update his license and insurance, or there's something that he has to do, right? If he needs to see that, in a lot of cases, what I do is I keep my business information separate from my personal. So that way, my clients, they don't have my personal phone number. They have my business phone number. And that's what I want them to see. So I usually advise everyone to, hey, set up your account online with the local municipalities, whether it be the county or directly with the city. When you're setting those up, set it up under your business name, give your business information, your business email, your business address, your business phone number, all of that stuff. Keep it in the business. That's usually what I advise. That is usually, as far as I see it, the best way to do it, to make sure that you're keeping everything strictly business, right? And again, you can log in under your clients. You can log in under each individual client. You can definitely do that and access the permitting system from your clients. Now, in some cities, in some counties, that's what they want you to do. That's the preference. They want you to sign up as an authorized agent or be given access to your client's actual login to their portal. Yes, that is what some building departments they require, some cities, some counties, that's what they require. But there is a lot of cases where the building department simply wants you to have your own account. They want you to have your own login, you to have your own information. And they actually, there's usually a lot of cases, right, when you are submitting the permit. Let's say you go in, you're uploading your documents because now you're going to go ahead and you're going to submit this online permit. What they do in a lot of cases, they'll even ask you, who do you want to add as a contact? They'll have you as the main contact, and they'll ask you, who else do you want to add as a contact? So that way, if you want to add the contractor on as a contact, someone who will be updated as to what's going on with this permit. If you want to add the property owner, if you want to put them on there so that they are updated with the status of this permit, you can do that, but you have control over it. You have that control over it. So that's why usually, of course, I'm pushing you to set up your accounts online through the portals under your business name, making sure that you have all of your clients' information in one place. When you're scrolling down your list of open permits, you can see, and when I say open permits, I do mean permits that you have submitted that are now in review. They are now being processed by the building department. They're now in review. They may not have completed the process. They may not have been approved yet. They may not have been rejected yet, but they're just going through the process. But you can see all of those for all your different clients who are doing projects in that particular city or that particular county. You can have it all in one place and you have that control. And of course, again, if you want to allow that access by your client or by the property owner, or by the investor, whoever, the project manager, you can choose to do that. You can choose to give them access. But it's best to make sure, if as much as possible, that you have your account set up. And even for those areas where they want you to go through under the contractor, that's fine too. Again, that's fine too. But even with that, as you're adding yourself as a contact, make sure that you're adding yourself under your business information, not necessarily just your name and just your personal number, because when you do that, then whoever that contractor allows access to that permit or to that portal, they can see that information as well. So if you don't want all of your personal, like your personal phone number, your personal address, your personal email, if you don't want that out there, make sure that you are utilizing your business information, because that's stuff you want everyone to know that information. You want people to get that information because in case they need a permit, if someone else has got access, let's say the project managers now have access to the contractor's portal and they also need permits done, they'll call you based off of that. They can get your information based off that. So that's why it's important to, yes, add yourself as a business. Keep it as a business. That is the best way to make sure that everything is done correctly. Make sure that your personal information is kept confidential. And again, when it is your account, you have control over who sees what and all of that information. In some cases, here's the other thing. In some cases, the contractor will get a project. They'll have a project, right? And they want you to process this project. They might not want the property owner to see the status. They may not want to give them that access, because here's the thing: what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of permits actually get rejected. They get rejected in the process, right? It's not always as smooth as saying everything's going to get passed, everything's going to be perfect. No, I have quite a few projects going where we've had rejections and we've had to go back and make sure that there's corrections. And sometimes if the property owner sees this, they get terrified. They're like, what's going on? I paid all this money for this project and you can't even get it approved, or it's not approved. And it's like, no, sometimes there's just certain technicalities that the engineer may have looked over that they need to take care of. Something as simple as something that can be fixed pretty quickly, but you know, the homeowner, the property owner doesn't necessarily see that. They don't see it that way, right? And hey, all of you who have tuned in, I'm just seeing it now. Hey, Marie. Hey, Roslyn. Hey, Robin. Hey, I'm gonna mess this up, so I'm gonna call you Dorsey. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm so glad to see y'all in here. I'm so glad to see y'all in here. But yeah, I wanted to drop in here with that, because it's important that we keep everything like there. I'm telling you, when it comes down to permit processing, you don't even realize how many permits get rejected. Like, it could have looked like it was so perfect, right? You everything was in, the permit application was signed perfectly, but there was just this one thing that was missing, right? The whole project, everything could have been perfect, but let's say for some reason you did not put the job value on the permit application. You didn't put a job value. You might have even attached a contract, but you didn't put a job value. The building department can reject it for that reason. They can reject it for that exact reason. Let's say for some reason you didn't put the email address on the permit application for the contractor. Guess what? Building department has the right to reject those documents and push that right back to you. So a lot of times the contractor doesn't want his client, the property owner, he doesn't want them to have access to see that, hey, all of this interaction is happening, because it'll make them worried as well. But again, as long as you're kind of keeping a hold of that, like I said, again, it's in your best interest to make sure that, hey, you know, if possible, like, I know a lot of the building departments are different, but from what I'm noticing, right, from my different consultations and just kind of checking out different areas, what I'm noticing is that a lot of times we're all using like the same online system. A lot of it's the same. So I see, for the most part, like how like, let me explain, right? So I was setting up an account in a whole different area, setting up an account, like, you know, a permit running account, so that I can get access to the portal, right? It pulled up all of my information from my accounts here, like in my local area. It pulled up all of my information, right? So interesting, because it's the exact same system. It pulled up my password, my user ID, it pulled everything right up, because it's the exact same system, even though it's completely out of my area. And again, even in consultations, I'm realizing, guess what? We're using a lot of the same systems. So with that being said, I see that, yes, you can go on, you can set up your online account. In a lot of cases, they're asking for some pretty simple stuff. They're asking for your name, your and in that case, you should be putting your business name in. Yes, they may also be asking you for your personal name, but sure, you want to still put everything in under your business name, your business email, your business phone number, right? Those are the things that you want to be using, right? Marie, hey, Miko, how can I prevent the contractor picking up the approved permit and not pay me the remaining service fee? Okay, let me go with that, right? And this is why I say this, Marie. This is why I say to at least get your 50% upfront payment. At least make sure that for what you have done, that you've received your payments. That's why I always encourage people, because the contractor, it's his permit or it's her permit, so they can actually pick it up, right? They can. So at least make sure that you're getting your 50% payment up front. Now, in some instances, right, because this has happened to me many times, the contractor will still pay you, even though they picked it up. If there wasn't any issues, they'll still pay you. We have one building department here in Delray, and they accept payment. You have to come in to make the payment. You have to physically come in. You bring your check. Pay with the credit card. You have to do that, right? And so I told my client, okay, this is the payment. It wasn't something that he could do online, but he was in the area, so he went ahead and paid for it, and they gave it to him. He still paid me for the full service because he just had no choice. He was like, oh, well, I'm in the area. I'll pay for it. Since I can't pay for it online, no big deal. Because I had already advised him he could give me a check and I'll pay for it so that way I could pick it up. He was like, oh, no big deal. Let me just pay for it and get it out of the way. And he picked it up and he still paid me for the full amount. If you know that you have an issue with a client, then yes, you might want to, collect payment up front in full. But as long as you have an agreement, like I have some of my clients to where I'll tell them, you pay me the 50% up front. When it's approved, if you want to go pick it up, like if that's what you're doing, by all means do it. But I've been paid for what it is that I've actually done. That's why you want to also make sure that you're charging enough. You want to make sure that you're charging enough, because also if you're only doing half of the project and the contractor does the remaining of picking it up, then that's one of those things. That's just one of those things. But you want to make sure that you stay on top of it. And when you have your own account with the different building departments, they send you the alerts. So that way you'll see also when you'll be able to see first that this permit has been approved. And then you can go ahead and make the arrangements at that point, at least when you're on top of it too. It kind of gives you that advantage to make sure, okay, permit's approved, talk to the contractor or your client. Hey, this is what's due. Let's get it going. Let's get it rolling, right? But for the most part, you can't stop them from picking it up. You just need to have a good working relationship with them to either let them know, hey, this is the full amount that's going to be due regardless. Or, hey, if you are in the area and you pick it up, then that's, I only charge for the portion that I do. So that's one thing to look at, right? All right. Yes. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? Good to see you in here. But yes, so that's just one of those things. But again, if you have your online account, if you have all those things set up, it does help. It helps you be on top of it, because guess what? They are sending those alerts directly to you. They're sending them first and foremost. You see them. And usually it's in the form of an email. They're usually emailing whatever email address you signed your account up with. That's where they're sending the emails to. So you want to make sure that, yes, when you are signing up, you're welcome, Marie. So you want to make sure, yes, when you're signing up, you have a good working email. And generally speaking, it's your business email. Because guess what? The building department, here's the other thing. They also send emails like all through the day. Sharon, you set up oh, good, Sharon. I'm glad to hear you set up your online account. That's good progress. Yes. But yeah, so you definitely want to make sure, again, the building departments, they're also sending you updates, right? They're sending you updates from that email. They're using that email to send updates. And that's why it's important to make sure that it's you who's registering also for these online portals. Because when they're sending out those updates, when they're sending out, when codes change, when the building departments have code change, they also send that stuff to you to let you know. When different things are changing, their business hours are changing. In my area, Boca Raton Building Department, they've implemented a new system, right? So they sent out an email to let you know, hey, listen, we changed our hours for 2 days because we got this new system and we got to get to working on this. But that's how you know that. And that way, and with that being said, I was able to, schedule accordingly. I was able to go there earlier in the morning because they said, oh, for these 2 days, we're going to be closing at 12 p.m. So I went there early in the morning, made sure I did my permit run, and that was how that went. But yeah, so you want to make sure, hey, that you've signed up, got your business information. They're usually asking for pretty simple information. And once they do that, they give you access to the online portal. It's usually as simple as that, right? I do understand that sometimes it's a little complicated because the city has a portal and then your county may have a portal as well. Generally speaking, they're probably using about the same type of system. They're still using pretty much the same system. So that's something to look out for. For the most part, utilize your business information, city or the county. Utilize both of them, right? In my area, we also have like the county also has like a separate portal where they're processing like environmental and those kind of projects, right? I have my online portal set up with that too. But with that, a lot of times, here's the thing, and why I say you want to make sure that you got your business information, because even with that, when you're attaching, in a lot of cases, your contractor or that property owner, you're attaching them to those documents that you submit. So when it's approved, it does go to that client as well, because they send out a link pretty much to make the payments for those. So you want your client to have access to that, right? But you want to make sure that you're on top of it. And so you're also getting those correspondence from your local building department, right? All right, so I just wanted to jump in here real quick. I want to thank all of you for jumping in here with me. I appreciate it. I'm a little bit earlier than I usually go live, so I appreciate you all for jumping in here with me. And I don't want to keep you too long. I hit 20 minutes, so I don't want to keep you all too long, but I want to thank you all again for joining in. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, definitely please feel free to leave them in the chat. Hey, Kia, how you doing? Good to see you in here too. But yes, please feel free to leave them in the comment section in the chat, and I look forward to chit-chatting with you later.